put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Thursday, the 28th day of August, 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinabi Holder, and yes, it is Thursday, one more day to the end of the work week. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, Adana, are you feeling it? Are you feeling the Friday near?
Every time we sit on this set, you are counting down to Friday.
We have to count down.
I must be grateful that you waited until Thursday, because last week you started your countdown on Monday. Viewers, I don't understand why Akilab is counting down to Friday from Monday, but we must thank God that this time he at least waited until Thursday to get there.
This time I had patience.
That's right, and we're heading into our Independence Weekend, you know, the independence of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll see what that weekend is going to look like on in Trinidad and Tobago, and more so in the Tobago space as well, how we are going to commemorate it. I think I saw something coming out of the office of the Chief Secretary.
Yes, a full day of activities.
A day of activities lined up there. So we'll see, you know, how that goes. You know, it's something, I think they were listening.
Yes.
And I think even before they were listening, when the information came, I'm sure they might have thought, now we got to do, let's see what we could do. And I think the conversation in terms of negotiating with central governments, I feel, I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking they might have had that discourse, you know, and they got the approval to do certain things as it was. So, you know, Tobago, we're going to get something. We're going to get something, you know. So we look forward to seeing how the celebration is going to look like. Well, we have a lovely show lined up for you this morning, and we do hope that you could stay with us throughout the conversations. But before we get into those conversations, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, 28 August 2025. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar confirmed joining a U.S.-led alliance to combat drug cartels in the Caribbean and Latin America was the best move as a vital step in tackling crime and protecting citizens. Persad-Bissessar said the coalition strengthens the fight against narcotic trafficking, human trafficking and crime, stressing that only criminals should fear its efforts. She reaffirmed her commitment to CARICOM despite internal divisions while maintaining a Trinidad and Tobago first approach. Up next, pushing for permanent positions, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says contract work in the public service will be phased out as it's both costly and unfair to employees. She said savings would fund permanent jobs with vacancies filled on a phased basis. The initiative, part of the UNC's 2025 manifesto, was welcomed by labor groups and the Nurses Association, which has long opposed short-term contracts. While supporting the move, union leaders urge a smooth transition and raise concerns about pensions and recognition of prior service. And finally, with the cancellation of the annual Independence Day parade and fireworks due to security concerns under the ongoing state of emergency, the Tobago House of Assembly has unveiled an alternative program of observance for August 31st. Under the theme, A Day of Prayer, Community and Celebration, the day's activities will highlight Tobago's culture, reflection and unity. The activities begin with a 5K road race and a cycling competition in Scarborough from 6 a.m., followed by a family fun zone featuring powerboat and boat racing. A multi-faith service will take place at the Shaw Park complex, while the evening will feature the Lime Gospel Concert at the Scarborough Library Amphitheatre and an open-air movie night at Botanical Gardens. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And this morning, our lone celebrant this morning is Miss Kezia Nathaniel. Kezia Nathaniel is celebrating a birthday today, and we say happy birthday to her. We do pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful and amazing birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Kezia. And of course, viewers, if you are celebrating, whatever you are celebrating, we join in the celebration with you, and we remind you to put God first, because He is the sole reason why there's even anything for you to celebrate. All right, it's that time of the morning where you're wondering, who are we having conversations with this morning in studio? Akinlabi, tell our viewers this morning, who are we speaking with today?
Yeah, so this morning we're speaking with Miss Catherine Gordon, who is the head of sales and HR, as well as Nicola George, who is a counseling psychologist, and Philemon Gordon, head of communications. And they're coming to talk about Befitment Limited. Yes, Befitment Limited. And up next, that will be an extended conversation with them. They will also be speaking about B Square as well. And then in the Women in Business segment, we have Miss Elisa Joseph, who's going to be talking about Address Life. She's an Address Life educator and publisher, and she'll be talking about her business in the Women in Business segment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you want to be a part of that conversation to see what is happening on the island of Tobago. So if you are from Tobago, you live in the diaspora, you have any concerns or any interest here in Tobago, you want to be a part of these conversations this morning. We do hope that you could stay with us whether you're viewing far or wide, and this is your opportunity to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back. Tobago Updates Television recognizes women in business. Every Thursday morning on The Morning Show, we engage with women-owned and operated businesses from right here in Tobago. We'll discover these women, their businesses, what inspired their business, their highs and their lows, and their encouragement to you. Join me, your host, Adana Kambi, this and every Thursday on The Morning Show from 7:40 a.m. as we celebrate and encourage women in business.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
How it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna. Look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meats served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Take your shot with Junior K.
Always with the introductions, as you see. And of course, we're on television. Big up to my boy Saki. We just complete. I saw that. So we didn't have a choice. We had to go there.
Good.
So, Carnival.
I say, warn them. Hey, I get to know.
Baba boy, Doran. Me God, we are the last man. Alright, you got a drink, bro? Drinking liars.
Enjoy Take Your Shot on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Skibidoo bang bang, yours truly do be representing for Neon, a tribal affair by Highlighter Entertainment. We are here.
Tobago, are you ready? Highlighter Entertainment's Neon, a tribal affair. Costume sales are live. Register now at highlighterentertainment.com. This is Carnival meets culture. Rhythm meets rebellion. Neon is calling. And your moment is now. Light up the night.
I jamming on the pavement with Neon. Jamming on the pavement with Red Woman. If you come to rub and shoot.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we have in studio with us Miss Catherine Gordon, who is the head of sales and HR, as well as Miss Nicola George, who is the counseling psychologist, and they're here to talk to us about Befitment Limited. Good morning and welcome, ladies.
Good morning.
So let's start right off. Tell us what Befitment Limited is about.
Befitment is the premier wellness and well-being experience. It covers a wide range of elements that manifest or beset the human condition. So Befitment is about how you find the best fit for yourself within the lifestyle that you want for yourself. So Befitment is about a lifestyle.
And the company is fairly new. It was created in 2022.
Yes.
Tell us, what was the need you saw in society that drove you all to create this company?
Okay. While the company was registered in 2022, the work of Befitment began all around 2017, where there's a specific focus on youth and what the youth are experiencing, because they, of course, are the leaders of tomorrow. And therefore, we started work in Nicola and our CEO, Quinton. They started work in some of the schools, invited to give a talk here, a talk there, with at-risk groups. And going on from that, of course, that was the data collecting phase, and they moved on from there because they saw the need to reach out to the young persons, provide solutions for the young persons, provide inspiration for the young persons, because the young persons are going through things that, of course, in my day, I didn't have to face all of that. And so that was the beginning of it. And it moved from there, it moved from there, it moved from there until the formal registration of the company, Befitment, in 2022.
So tell us some of the things that Befitment offers, some of your offerings. Get a bit more in depth about what the company does.
Okay. Basically, Befitment functions on 4 platforms, 4 pillars which the humans, mankind, they're interested in. They're interested in either love and relationships, whether romantic relationships, within the job space, within their families, love and relationships. They're also interested in their own mental and well-being and their balance. Find people asking, what is my purpose? I want to enjoy a better balance, work-life balance. And so they're interested in that. They're interested in their health, nutrition, and fitness. And then, of course, they're interested in the famous one, money and wealth. So from those 4, you could see that everybody in the world focuses on those things. So within that space, Befitment covers its services now. Its services range from coaching, counseling, professional development services, so things like workshops. We work with companies, we work with individuals, we work with, on invitation, some schools. And so Befitment covers that across it. It is designed to have you find your best fit in life. So if you think of a gym, when you go to a gym, you know what you're going for. So when you come to Befitment, you either know that you're coming for professional services, or you're coming for well-being, or you're coming for balance. Let me explain the makeup of Befitment. Befitment is really a collective of 9 core and 11 in total of professions that span a range. So they're career development specialists, there's psychology, there's psychiatry, there's logistics, there's administration, there's image and etiquette and protocol, there's music and entertainment. So whenever someone reaches into Befitment, whatever is needed, that expertise comes forward to operate and be, as we would call it, the project leader on that team. So within that, so we do coaching, we do counseling, we offer workshops, activities, and then there's a space which we call the Befitment Balance Center, which is a physical space in Charleville, and persons who are premium members can come in and just use the space. It's what you want to call a
a Zen space.
Yes?
Yes.
So there's a meditation room, there's a pool where you can just come in and relax, and you can speak to no one if you do not feel to speak to anyone at that point in time. It's just a space for you to decompress. And so all of those things are included. In addition to the emotional support that we also give through the app, which we're going to talk about, the Be by Befitment app.
So I know you said the company started off going into schools and counseling.
On invitation, yes.
Yes, on invitation and counseling young people. But as the company grew, and you all go about on society in public space, how much of a strong need do you see in Trinidad and Tobago for people to find that perfect fit for their life?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath and practice your breathing because it can seem overwhelming. It is everywhere. In past years, let's say 10, 15 years ago, you would not see that intensity. But now it is everywhere. And of course, you in Tobago just had your own incident with the student who just decided, I'm checking out of here. And there are several like that in that age cohort. Nicola could speak more to that. And the older ones are in the space of, well, what is it all about? I've worked. And now I have accumulated things, but I still feel unfulfilled. I feel empty. Maybe I went down a career path that someone else had picked for me. I really didn't pick this. I didn't want this. Circumstances put me here. And now you're seeing it down at the younger stages where they are mirroring the effects of what they are experiencing around them.
Yes.
So it is every single way. And it is not just Trinidad and Tobago. It is everywhere, and you can see the signs around us. So the need for befitment at this point in time is critical.
So Nicola, she just mentioned that you'll be able to speak about the youth aspect some more. She mentioned earlier that when you go to schools on invitation. How pervasive is the problem in our schools? Because we see our young children acting out a lot. And I tell people all the time that children don't just act out because they want to act out like that. Something is triggering them. Something is impacting their lives to have them behave in that way. Human beings aren't generally irrational, but our irrational behaviors come from something that might be subconscious. So just speak to how much of a need you see the services for in our schools as you started doing the counseling in the schools themselves.
So for the most part, you realize that with the youth, they see it as a norm now. So they see it as a normal part, but even from experiencing it and, looking at the difference and making that comparison, you know that it is not a norm. They talk about it, they're very open and honest, so they would say the things that they are dealing with. And for the most part, they feel as though they don't have an outlet that actually cares, at least some of them. So yes, they would do all the things that you see them doing.
I want to segue into something here. In your conversations with the young people, how much of a problem have they raised in terms of bullying being impacting their mental health?
So for some of them, what they do is they do agree that it do impact their mental health, and they don't really see a way out. Because even recently I was having a conversation with one and he was asking, how to deal with it. And he was saying that in cases like that, sometimes you stand up to the bully and you end up getting in trouble for standing up to the bully. Yeah. Again, for the most part, most of them, their way out is unfortunately suicide, because that's what they see, because the adults don't really take their side.
So, we're talking about Befitment Limited. You're based in Trinidad, but you stated that you're a hybrid organization.
Yes.
Tell us about this Be by Befitment app.
Okay. So Befitment is really a combination of science, science-based, technology-based, research-based, ancient wisdom, and philosophies. So a large part of us is our Be by Befitment app. This you can get in the Apple Store or the Google Store, or you can download it from our website, befitment.com. In that app, the app is the same as Befitment in physical. We can deal with you through the app, or you can see us face to face. In the app, we are able to do coaching. We are able to do counseling. We are able to stream live events. We do have our Monday evening podcast, Genius Goes on Fuel and Flex from there. Even in our fitness activities at the Balance Center, those you can participate in, even if you're in New York, which we do have some persons who join us there. So you can operate in the app. The app has different segments. So it also contains our library, where you can access past recordings of Genius Goals, and the meditation segments. There you can purchase merch from us. You can access the workshops. We can coach, you can counsel. So in the case of a young person who is experiencing something and has reached out to Befitment, in that app, that person could be receiving coaching and counseling. They're going through something, and all someone else is seeing is that boy looks like he's just in love with his phone. He always on the phone. Now, look at him now under the mango tree, under the phone, not realizing that he's receiving assistance, speaking to a live person. And also, if you don't have the time, or you're going through something right then and there, and you say, I don't want to talk to anybody. On our mood page, there are 52 categories where they cover, and they are updated daily. They cover all aspects. So if procrastination is your issue, if you're worried about good parenting, if you're worried about what's my purpose, all of those things are in there, and you tap it and it opens up for you. So in each category, you will find an anecdote, a writing and a reading, and then there are activities or exercises that you can use or apply to help you get through whatever you're getting through while you're making up your mind whether you want to actually talk to somebody in person. And so the app is very mobile. It is very attractive to young persons because that phone, and it is an international app, meaning it's in the international space, the Google and the Apple. And so there are persons who follow us from Africa. There are persons who follow us from New York, Miami, Barbados. You can reach us wherever you are. And this is the beauty of the app. You do not have to be in Trinidad and Tobago to use that app. And you download the app for free, and you use the app for free. There's no fee for using that app.
So you answer a number of the questions. I was going to follow-up questions that I had. But so you're getting a good bit of traction with the app. Persons from around the world are downloading the app and getting the services. But in terms of tapping into persons in Trinidad and Tobago, how difficult is it to get persons to come in for that kind of help?
Okay. One aspect of the human condition is that within our 3 o'clock moments, 3 a.m. moments, we know that something is off. We recognize that something is missing, and we have these one-on-one conversations within ourselves. But once we get to 6 a.m. and we start to move, we then switch around to believe we are strong. And because we look around and everyone else is looking the same, they're talking about the same problems that they have. They're talking about how life is hard. So we feel now, as Nicola said, this is normal. We ignore that little voice within that 3 a.m. told us something is off. So now when you hear of a befitment, and that is why we like to move away from just the concept of mental wellness to well-being, overall well-being. Because as soon as people hear mental, they start to say, well, I'm not crazy. I don't need this. I don't need that. And you continue to suffer in silence with whatever you're going through. You may have some children that you do not know how to interact with the children because your time was then, their time is now, and the gap is wide. But you're still saying, well, my mother used to do it so, my father used to do it so, my grandmother told me how to do it. And you're reaching back into a time which has gone. You're reaching for methods which are no longer working for you. and you continue to struggle. So you find that Befitment now places itself into spaces such as these, and we thank you for the opportunity, and where we can let people know there is a different way. You can make different choices in your life. There's a different way to function where you enjoy your life. You enjoy the kind of life that you want to live. We are not telling you, Befitment doesn't tell you this is the kind of life you must live, because each person is an individual. And what has happened over time is society has made each person a collective, and you're expected to behave like the other person. And we're seeing some of the results now where people do not want to behave like the other person. And so they say, well, if I cannot do my own thing, I'm out of here. Because I know within myself that I am not Nicola. I know within myself I am not my neighbor.
But you're being forced to be.
But I'm being forced to be. And so Befitment is now in the space which helps to guide you into different, through our podcasts. That's the Fuel and Flex Genius Goals podcast on a Monday evening between 7 and 8 in the app. Where you can just log in. You don't have to be a member. You can just download the app and log in. And there are rich discussions on different topics which affect your life. And you can choose to participate. You can choose to just listen. You can choose to turn on your camera. You can choose to keep it off. There is no pressure on you at all. But you have that. Then during the week, deeper dive into the topic that starts on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Be Better series. That is open to premium members only. But for this period, we also have a free 7-day pass that we offer to anyone. No credit card, no obligation. You just follow the link and click on it. And what is it? It's a taste of Befitment's premium membership. What is premium membership? $96 TT a month. And you get a curated set of solutions and offerings and services and everything. So they're able to tune into that. People just want what they know their soul needs, but they look outside at society and they say, well, I good.
One of the things that one of the blockages, the obstacles to really getting mental health is a lot of times people feel as though they can't afford the help. Going to a counselor, going to a psychologist could cost you up to $500 and up per session. So they feel like very often times they can't afford the help. How does Befitment get around that barrier?
Well, Befitment is a business, and so our rates are based on the market. However, there are avenues, the talks we were talking about, the podcasts, the classes. You can't afford $500 a session, but you can afford $96 a month. And that $96 allows you to sit in spaces where there is information, there's discussion, there's help. The app allows you to download and use for free, and therefore there are avenues for assistance while you build up whatever you need to build up. You may find that in using the app, in attending the classes, online or in person, you may not need to get that $500 because you will start to get the clarity you need, and you will start to make other decisions and better decisions for the lifestyle that you want. So the $500 may not now even become an issue. You wouldn't need it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having conversations with Miss Catherine Gordon and Miss Nicola George concerning Befitment Limited. We need to go for a short break, so help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking about B Square when we come back on the other side of this break.
Rise and shine, Tobago. The breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When it wrong, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive pool party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We aim to take shots.
she come to teach.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched. This is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarkets, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Sun up Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we have in studio here Ms. Catherine Gordon, who is the head of sales and HR, as well as Nicola George, who is the counseling psychologist, talking about Befitment Limited. And they're also here to talk to us about B Squad. But before we get into the conversation about B Squad, there was a bit of information that you wanted to add about the app and some of the services on the app.
Yes. But we talked about what we can do in the app. So
Yes.
those services are available. But what I wanted to also mention was that because we ended on the $500 counseling session,
Yes.
and within your $96 TT membership, which is monthly, you also are entitled to a counseling session.
Okay.
So there is that additional support. So even if you couldn't afford the $500, with the lessons, the services, the classes, and the benefits of premium membership, you'll be covered.
Okay, excellent. So, Ms. George,
Yes.
B Squad.
Yes.
B Squad. I was saying B Square before, but it's actually B Squad.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is B Squad about?
So B Squad is basically a youth empowerment yes.
Okay, and how could persons get into this program if they want to?
Okay, so for the most part, we have camps and we have sessions on a Saturday. So we have our B Squad Saturday sessions where they can reach out to us and you can bring your youth in, as well as by invitation, as Ms. Gordon was explaining earlier. We work through schools. If a school invites us in, we go in and we have a conversation with a class.
Okay, but this is only in a physical space. This initiative is only physical. It's not available virtually.
So we can provide it virtually as well. So B Squad Saturdays, it's usually physical or virtual. So if they can't come into the Balance Center, they could log in online. However, they will not get all the benefits. So they will not get the pool and the play and all of that because they are at home.
And what has the response been like to the B Squad initiative?
It has been really good. The teens enjoy coming out. They enjoy being there. Every camp we get our students, we get reoccurring students, so they're always there coming in.
Now, I've been involved in a couple of camps myself, not like yours,
Yeah.
but camps. And you have a varying personality of children there, and sometimes some children cause problems.
Yeah.
And I know this is a initiative where children could unwind and unstress, but sometimes they still come with their who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you all treat with matters of conflict if they arise in the camp?
Okay, so what we usually do is we have circle time, if you want to call it circle time, where we sit and we discuss. So you would give your point of view, you would give your point of view, and then we would all find a common ground, because it's all about building each other while understanding the differences, because we didn't come here to be the same individual.
And in your experiences, has that worked? Has it brought the children to a better sense of understanding that there's a different way to resolve conflicts and to deal with issues?
Yes, it has.
Okay. So I don't know if you mentioned it, but is it a free camp? Is it a paid camp? How could persons get in contact with you all to get their children into such a camp?
Okay, I'll answer that and then I'll go back to something.
Okay.
The camp is a paid camp. Befitment is a business.
Yes.
It is not an NGO. However, through partnerships with corporates, through partnerships with individuals, and the individuals are not necessarily in Trinidad and Tobago. You may find that someone does not have a child, but they may want to sponsor a child. So there are opportunities there which have been used. So with those sponsorships now, you can offer spaces to children who cannot afford to attend the camp, even though it's reasonable. We know there are families where $10 is still a stretch, it's still too much. So within that combination of sponsorships, partnerships, and those who can pay, you find that the camp then is available to a wide amount of persons. I just want to mention, though, that the B Squad initiative is not only in a camp form or the Saturday form. That's our Power Saturdays and so forth. But B Squad is available to any organization. So your football club, your evening group, a mothers union group with young persons, you can access B Squad. You can invite B Squad in. B Squad is a structured program where it's set up among 3 core elements, and then you have electives.
Right.
So you can choose what you want to address. So it's not designed only to be in a physical space. And of course, we go back to the Be by Befitment app, because that is key to the ability to deliver. And we can deliver to Tobago, we can deliver to Barbados, we can deliver anything through that app. So it's available as a youth development initiative, because we know, we see, we know the issues with the young persons. And because they are wedded to their technology, you find there is more encouragement, because you get a sense of anonymity. They don't know that I'm doing that, because young people want to be cool. They want to be part of the group. So they don't want people to know they're getting assistance with something. We toughen it out together. And so I would look like a simp if I let people know I get an assistance and I this kind of program. But what you find is that with the camp and the Saturdays, the students who have continued in the program, because it really is a program from 12 to 17, ages 12 to 17.
Okay, so in the case that a group from Tobago may want you all to physically execute the camp or the...
We will be right here.
You will be. It's not a problem.
We will be right here.
Even regionally as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything, and now regionally, the regional ferry is being put into place.
Yes.
So even if we cannot get a flight, we will get something. We will be there.
Okay. Just make sure and take your gravel before you go on the boat. There's a concern amongst many, many people. We see all the services you're offering, but there's a concern amongst many people, particularly in a space like Tobago, about confidentiality. You know, a lot of persons don't want to go to counseling because they tell themselves, I go in this session, and as soon as I leave, an hour after I leave, people on the road know my business. What can you say to the public to assure them of the confidentiality of befitment?
That is a valid concern. And this is how Befitment has addressed that concern. We go back to that app, Be by Befitment. Within that space, let me describe for you how specific within the back end of the app is.
Yes.
Is that you are a client and you are using our EAP services, because we do offer EAP services to companies. You are using those services. The company itself, if registered as a company, would have its own profile within the app. No one from Befitment can access that profile.
Okay.
Only the persons within the company. If there are individuals in there going through something, and they will have like a subset in there where they alone can access via PIN. When you are using the app, if you are being coached or counseled, you need not even turn on your camera. So we do not even know what you look like.
Right.
And so we also do not do any of that kind of work on public platforms like Zoom or the rest of them. So no one else has our recordings. Those recordings are ours.
Within the app?
Within the app, and maintained under that strict confidentiality. In terms of coaching and counseling, there are only 2 members of Befitment which access anything to do with coaching and counseling. Nicola is one of them, and our CEO is the other one. No one else within the team even has access to those particular parts of the app. And it follows the same thing in the physical. Only Nicola and Quinton.
Right.
So there is no thing, even if we could say, okay, X, Y, which is not being said, sometimes you don't even know who you're speaking with. So the confidentiality part is critical to the lifeblood of Befitment, and we go down with the ship.
Okay, well, that sounds very, very, very confidential. It seems as though person's information would be very safe. Before we close the interview, you could just give one last pitch, give persons their information, encourage them to join BeFit, how they could get in contact with you and that kind of thing.
Okay, so our telephone number is 868, I'm going to give the whole international thing, 868-336-1809. 868-336-1809. You can also go to our website, befitment.com. befitment.com. And then, of course, you can follow us. Please follow us on all social media. Our Instagram, because we also do live with Philo. And so you can find us there on social media, all platforms. You can write to us via either you can send us an email. Even within the app, there's a chat feature.
Okay.
That you can, if you have a non-confidential burning question, you can put it in there and someone from Befitment will respond to you. Only a non-confidential. If it is confidential, something you're going through, you will not put it in that space in the app.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Ms. Catherine Gordon and Ms. Nicola George, Befitment Limited, the Befitment app, the B by Befitment app, as well as B Squad. They have a number of wellness and wholeness services to offer you to make you become the best fit for your life. Ladies, I want to thank you all for coming on and sharing the services of the company. I think it's something that is much needed in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world, as you said.
Yeah.
And it's really and truly human service you're doing for humanity.
And we thank you so much for having us on your program and giving us the space to let all of Tobago know this is available to you. This is available to you. The region know this is available to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have Women in Business. We need to go for a short break, so do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Women in Business is up next.
That's essentially the main catalyst which drove Frenzy Mass. I mean, all of us would have do a lot of things together, and this was just the next step now, evolution. We lime, we party, so why don't we take all of that and bring it into Tobago, into a form of mass, where we could go on Gallivant and do the same thing where other people could see what we do it on a bigger stage.
But at this point in time, I think Frenzy is important to me, so I decided to put some energies there. It's our first year, Tobago Carnival, we now partner with Iconic Mass, and it's our first time, so I felt like, just see, come and really stamp your name and make that presence from the mass side of things. So that's the vibe, Frenzy Mass, really excited for Tobago this year.
Love to see the girl bend over. Arch your back, big girl. Arch your back, arch your Stop the arches. Slack me, girl. Arch your back. Arch your back.
We can say 1, 2, tie up your shoe. 3, 4, bend back more. 5, 6, no time for tricks. Wine like you're feeling for sticks. So I want you bend. Bend like you're forget to cream your leg. Hold on by your ankle them. Not just you, girl, you want your friend and you want your friend.
Right, me girl, and wine in frenzy mass. Watching how that is what I was seeing. Rocking it slow. That is what I was seeing.
I beat and roll. We beat and roll. All day I beat and roll. We beat and roll. When spirited, I beat and roll. Spirited, I beat and roll. When spirited, I beat and roll. What to do? Let me see how stick you could get. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could. See how stick you could. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could get. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could. See how stick you could. See how stick you could get. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I'm overeating. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I'm over.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and welcome to the Women in Business segment. This morning we speak with Miss Lisa Joseph, and you might have seen her a couple of weeks ago, but today she's in the capacity of educator and publisher. In fact, she's a dynamic professional who blends her passion for health and wellness with her dedication to early childhood education. And this morning we're talking about some publications that Miss Joseph did for early education. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, good morning.
Of course, a pleasure having you in studio with us again this morning in the Women in Business segment. And you know, I must commend you for your efforts and for, you know, just immersing yourself in entrepreneurship and looking for different avenues, one, to contribute to the holistic development of the person, and of course to make some dollars, because when you get into business, that's what it's about, right?
Yes.
So we're talking now about publications of books for preschools, and I'm seeing this Calissa's Prep Kids, right? Educational resources for kids. So let's talk about one, the reason why you saw it necessary to do this type of publication, because there's so many publications out there for early education. How did you come about thinking it might be a good idea to do this?
Well, to be honest with you, I have to give kudos to my daughter, Calissa. It was Calissa's initiative. You know, after closing my establishment in 2021, which was Calissa's Prep School, a reputable organization, you know, my daughter came home one day and she said, "Mommy, I have something to show you." And when she opened the box, it was one book, the math book that she published at first. And it brought tears to my eyes because I said, this is an opportunity for the school to live on, to give children the opportunity of still having that Kalisa's prep school experience and having to have access to the information so that parents can work with their kids. I said the school can still live on, even if it's not actually operating, as it used to before. So I give kudos to her because when she bought that book, I said, well, Kalisa, we cannot stay at one book. We can't stay at just one book. So I then put together the information, and together we were able to publish 10 workbooks for preschoolers.
And the drive to do this, of course, came from your background in education, as you mentioned before, operating the preschool.
Yes.
Right? And so, of course, you have a hands-on knowledge in terms of how children at that age learn and how they receive information and how they interpret information. I know you're saying you have, is it 10 books you said?
10 books.
So talk us through the 10 books that you now have under the Kalisa's Prep Kids educational resources for kids.
Okay, great. So with the experience that I have, I believe that children learn through their senses, as with having a Montessori background, where children, her philosophy is that children learn through their senses. So it means that they had to touch things, some of them may even taste things, involving all the senses. And I have been working with children, providing that hands-on experience, because I've seen where children have blossomed. Children who were considered slow, they were able to excel using the hands-on approach. And so I decided that I can still, even though they are not able to do it physically with me, I came up with these books that will help children to also have at least some hands-on experiences. So we have the first introductory book is our math, pre-math activities, which allow children to recognize numbers as well as the value. So there are exercises for children to cut out and stick the number of objects to the corresponding number. Right? It involves a lot of coloring also. We have, from the introductory program, we have where they have to do like color one thing or draw one more, and how many now. They make their own sandpaper numbers as well. So it allows parents to do that with the kids, and that indirectly prepares them for writing the numbers or the letters. So we have like 3 books for the math program. The introductory one that introduce number recognition and number value. And then we have the other 2 levels that introduce the addition concept, right, through the different activities in the booklet. We have in the area of literacy, which is the pre-reading activities. A lot of parents are excited to hear or know that their children can read, at 4. Now, my thing is that children, the more exposure you give to them in regards to read, it's not just reading, but building that foundation. It's not just throwing them into a book and them calling words. So my book encourages children to first develop phonic awareness and phonemic awareness. So phonics, they first learn the letters by the sound rather than by the name. The name comes in later. Right? So we teach them to identify the letters by sound. So for example, we say this is A, as in apple, and then we call different objects that carry that A sound. So the books are designed that way. And we also have a fun craft book that they can use back those letters to make the pictures of things that carry the sound of the letter. So we have that as our alphabet craft book that reinforces the concept. It adds fun and it allows parent and child to spend time together. After that phonic awareness, we have what's called the phonemic awareness, where children can now identify that sound in words. So you call words at random without even showing a picture. But by hearing the word, they will be able to identify the beginning sound. So we'll ask, what song do you hear first when I say apple? Or if I say ambulance, what song do you hear first? And they are able to tell you, right? So we develop the phonic awareness, phonemic awareness, and then we teach them to put those songs together to make words. So each book allows for the development of those skills.
It is so amazing. Sitting here listening to you, the process, your planning process in terms of how you compile the books, certain levels. And I'm seeing here, I have a couple of the books. I see level 1, level 2.
Yes.
So you're talking about how you move them from one stage to the
That's
next,
right.
and putting that method into the actual workbook.
Yes.
You know, we cannot know what teaching and learning is, but to understand the science of it, which is just brought down for us, and the significance and the importance, I must commend you on taking the time out rather, to do that, to ensure that the learning process is in a systematic way,
right.
that the children can understand and grasp the concepts of the books, right? And so we're talking about math and we're talking about literacy, and all the books have different levels, right?
That's right. So we even have one for writing skills as well, right? Unfortunately for us in the Caribbean, our children have to start school at 5, whereas in other countries, European countries, children start really at 6 and 7. And one of the reasons for that is that the muscles in the hands, those fine motor skills, are not developed until a child is actually 7, right? So we have to prepare our children for writing at 4, to get them ready for the primary level at 5.
Right.
So there are activities that helps to develop those fine motor skills. Right now, some of it I couldn't put into the book, but I would have shared some ideas that parents can use. You know, for example, using clothespins just to put on the rim of a bowl helps to develop those fine motor skills. You know, pouring exercises using dried peas or beans, and you have that child pouring using a cup with a handle will help that child to develop fine motor skills. Stringing beads, you know, these are just some. Using a tweezer to transfer the beans into one container to the next, right? And then you have sand activities where you have them tracing the letter. You can actually use the actual sand, or teachers or parents can make sandpaper letters that help them to trace before you actually put them into a book.
No, you're talking about all these activities, and you know, sometimes you would think that these are just, you know, something to keep the children occupied, but now you're explaining that it's actually assisting in their motor skills. It has a purpose.
Yes.
It's not just to pass the time or for them to do something fun and exciting. Although it is fun and exciting, it does have a purpose. Are these books available for persons to purchase so that they can use, whether it's in schools or at home with their children, to do their own personal development with their child?
Right. So it's available on Amazon. It's also available at my place. And so you can call and make your order, or you can do it yourself on Amazon.
All right. So tell us, where is your place? How do persons contact you if they're interested? And now we have sound level 1 and level 2, and then we have book 2 in beginning sounds N to Z. So I assume there's an A to Z as well. Then we have math. You know, there's so many books that are available, and I'm looking, and look at how the fonts and the prints, so very, you know, engaging and very, very engaging for children of that age. You know, when they see these fonts, they gravitate towards them, and, you know, going through the book, it's very, very, it's easy to follow, it's fun and practical. So the children can really identify the fruits and all the things that you have in there, which I quite like. So tell us exactly your contact details and where people can find the book locally. For those who want to order on Amazon, of course, you look for Kalissa's Prep Kids.
Yes,
the book.
On Amazon, you can either use my daughter's name, Kalissa Joseph Roberts, or you can use the title, right, which is Kalissa's Prep Kids.
Right, and select whichever book you're looking for.
And you can contact Kalissa Joseph Roberts also at 735-4505, or you can call me on 765-2967.
All right. Well, Miss Joseph, you know, I really am impressed by all that you are doing, and I want to wish you the absolute best as you continue to mold minds and support parents in helping their children to be ready for primary and secondary school, because I believe that the foundation is very, very important for them to develop their skills later on. So all the best, and thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Miss Lisa Joseph, who is an educator and a publisher of books for preschool age children. Get your copy. You can get them at Kalisa's Prep. She gave you the information there, either on Amazon using the handle Kalisa's Prep Kids, and you look for whichever book you're looking for. You can contact them locally to get your copy as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have to end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, but it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT, which is Good Morning Tobago, and as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Imagine being on your last straw as a parent because you don't know what else to do with your child that is giving trouble at home. Well, the Probation Services Unit of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection hosted a 4-day program titled Thinking for Change, which was geared to help improve the change behaviors by encouraging and inspiring these kids that they can do it, to keep going, to always believe in themselves, that they are enough and they are more than capable.
We are guiding you today that once you change your thoughts, you can change your game. And essentially that's what Thinking for a Change focuses upon.
This program isn't just some boring lecture about being good. It is a powerful, real-world system that teaches you to take charge of your own life by changing the way that you think. And here's the deal. Your thoughts shape your actions.
A parent shared how thankful she was about having a program like this.
I'm very grateful for the program and for all the parents who are going through the same thing, although you might feel it's you alone. It's a lot of us, it have some of them who are willing to come forward, right? And I would encourage parents to don't give up on their children and stick with their children, support them 100%, right? And since the program, me and my daughter get very close. We wasn't agreeing. You can't tell me nothing bad about my daughter now. I love she very much.
And these participants vowed to listen to their parents going forward.
I did enjoy it. It also helped me change the way of how I think in like certain circumstances and attitude towards parents, teachers, anybody like older than me and thing, yeah.
What I gained from this program is not some misunderstood situations, and so in every situation, like, okay, somebody comes to me aggressive, not to just get back aggressive. Learn and identify the feelings of the person and them kind of thing there. And I learned how two kind of situations. It have an in-your-face situation and it have a time to think problem. And you had to learn to identify the problem to find a solution. Yes, I ain't gonna tell you don't live your best life. Live your best life, but do it with the permission of your parents or guardian and just respect.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Welcome back. It's Good Morning Tobago, and we are here this morning to bring to you all that we have in store on this morning's episode of GMT. I am your host, Renessa Ortiz, and I am joined by...
Hi, good morning. I am Kemba Winchester. We're bringing some fresh new faces to you all this morning.
Yes, we are stepping in for Chanel this morning. Good morning, Chanel, wherever you are.
Hello.
We are happy to be here this morning to showcase what is in store. Before we go into that, we're going over to news in 90 seconds. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar confirmed joining a U.S.-led alliance to combat drug cartels in the Caribbean and Latin America. It was the best move as a vital step in tackling crime and protecting citizens. Persad-Bissessar said the coalition strengthens the fight against narco-trafficking, human trafficking and crime, stressing that only criminals should fear its efforts. She affirmed her commitment to CARICOM despite internal divisions while maintaining a Trinidad and Tobago first approach. Pushing for permanent positions, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says contract work in the public service will be phased out, as it is both costly and unfair to employees. She said savings would fund permanent jobs with vacancies filled on a phased basis. The initiative, part of the UNC's 2025 manifesto, was welcomed by labor groups and the Nurses Association, which has long opposed short-term contracts. While supporting the move, union leaders urged a smooth transition and raised concerns about pensions and recognition of prior service. With the cancellation of the annual Independence Day parade and fireworks due to security concerns under the ongoing state of emergency, the Tobago House of Assembly has unveiled an alternative program of observances for August 31st, under the theme, A Day of Prayer, Community and Celebration. The day's activities will highlight Tobago's culture, reflection, and unity. The activities begin with a 5K road race and cycling competitions in Scarborough from 6 a.m., followed by a family fun zone featuring powerboat and goat racing. A multi-faith service will take place at the Shaw Park complex, while the evening will feature the D-Lime Gospel Concert at the Scarborough Library Amphitheatre and an open-air movie night at the Botanical Gardens. That was your news in 90 seconds.
The event of this century is here. AMPLIA. 100 years of excellence to honor the past and ignite the future. Saturday, September 30th at the Magdalena. The Centennial Gala, hosted by Bishop's High School Tobago. An all-inclusive evening of entertainment, culinary delights, and timeless vibes. And at midnight, raise your glass as we welcome the next 100 years. Limited early bird tickets, $750. Secure yours at islandetickets.com. An all-white affair. One night, one century, one legacy.
Rise and shine, Tobago. The breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When they wrong, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive pool party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We come to take shots. She come to take shots.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched.
Miss how she Girl, I'm coming home, I was
is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarkets, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Launch, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Son of Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
Take your shot with Junior K.
Always with the introductions, as you see. And of course, we're on television. Big up to my boy Saki. We just complete. I saw that. So we didn't have a choice. We had to call it.
Good.
So, Carnival.
I say, warn them. Hey, I get to know.
Baba boy Doran. Me God, we are the last man.
Alright, you got a drink, bro?
Drinking liars.
Enjoy Take Your Shot on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share.
For this morning, I'm just going to share with you our guests for this morning and who will be having on set and our conversations. First up, we have Paul Crooks. He's the veterinary officer with the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. He's here to talk about World Food Day Livestock Competition 2025. Following that, we have Dr. Ellis Boris, president of the IRO Interreligious Organization, and they are here to talk about prayers during the Independence Week. And last but certainly not least, we have Sheldon Brashy B. Bradshaw, radio show host, event promoter, here to talk about the D-Lime Gospel Concert. Next now we have Mr. Paul Crooks, veterinary officer with the Division of Food Security, here to talk about World Food Day Livestock Competition 2025. Welcome, Mr. Crooks.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming this morning. Now, I know we usually have the World Food Day Livestock Competition, and we just want to ask you, what is the main goal of this year's competition? What are you hoping to achieve outside of the competition this year?
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that remember the livestock competition is part of a grander World Food Day series of events. So the livestock competition, livestock is just one part of it. If we look at the theme for this year's World Food Day from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the theme is Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future. The division has been working hand in hand with farmers, with stakeholders, with producers across the island. In the livestock field or the livestock category, we've been working hand in hand with livestock farmers to do the Lamb Fest over the last couple of years. And there is a Lamb Fest coming up this year, yes. Sunday, October 5th. We've been working with the livestock farmers for many years to do the livestock competition. This year's livestock competition, we plan to differentiate it just a little bit. We're trying to include a broader variety of species and breeds. So we, for example, are asking rabbit farmers and poultry farmers to WhatsApp me or call me directly at 383-4451 in order to enter any breed of rabbit or any species of farmed poultry, any breed of farmed poultry. The idea is that we have a diverse display when people come to see what's at World Food Day 2025, part of the grand exhibition.
And I know in the information that was sent, they talk about opening the event to every breed of sheep, goats, poultry, and rabbits. And I know you touched a bit on that. And I was reading through some of it. I saw the Barbadian black sheep. That's the first time I've heard of that. Can you expand a little bit on that for us?
Yeah, so there's the Barbados black belly, which is a breed that was created here in the Caribbean and in, obviously I want to say from the name, in Barbados. The Barbados black belly is a sheep that has certain defining characteristics, including its prolificacy, which means it produces several offspring at once. Typically, farmers who are producers and not necessarily breeders, people who are trying to sell meat primarily, they will mix the Barbados black belly with a meatier breed, like a West African, which is also in our list of categories. They'll mix them together so that they have a mixed animal who produces more offspring, but also is a meatier carcass at slaughter. So the reasons why for the livestock competition we want to display the diversity of the breeds is so that farmers know who they can reach out to when they want the best of the black belly, the best of the West African, in order to create their ideal hybrid animal. However, as I said, the theme is hand in hand for better food and a better future. We are working hand in hand with livestock farmers. I'm part of the World Food Day Steering Committee, but we're also working hand in hand, as I said, with many other stakeholders, many other producers. And I do want to point out that from next week, I want farmers to register with me from now, all now. WhatsApp me at 383-4451 for the livestock competition. However, from next week, from September 2nd, because Monday is a holiday, from September 2nd through to Friday, September 5th, we are asking all caterers, vendors, or anyone else who would like to participate in the World Food Day Grand Exhibition or its related activities, being the horticulture event at the end of October or the Lamb Fest at the start of October, to come next week during those few days to sign up to be part of those activities and those events. There will be staff there to guide you from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Millsherv office, the main office at Shervan Road, on the corner of Shervan and Milford Road. There will be staff there to guide you and assist you in the completion of the forms so that you can participate in the World Food Day activities. So ultimately, hand in hand, we're working with livestock farmers to have a grander display than ever before, but we're also working with producers, caterers, vendors for the other activities we have planned as well.
Now, farmers are being asked to bring only one animal per category. Can you explain how that works and why is it important for the competition that they only just bring one?
Right. Well, they're not actually going to bring one. They're entering. So the way that the livestock competition works is farmers will let me know, look, I think I have a really good black belly, Barbados black belly sheep, right? I have a really good black belly female. I think she could win. So they'll call me and say, Dr. Crooks, I have Barbados black belly ewe. I would like to enter for the competition. Throughout the month of September, a team comprising an animal health professional and at least a couple of livestock officers with the division will go out and assess the animals on the field.
Okay.
And judge the animals using set published criteria that have been used over the years and tested. Based on the aggregate scores, we will select the top animal representative of the breed to be brought to the grand exhibition. So at the grand exhibition, we'll have just one. Why we've asked farmers to enter one is because we just have that one winning animal that will be brought down. So we are putting it to the farmers to say, bring your best, present your best. When the staff go out there to assess your animal, you select and say, this is my best black belly sheep, and let the judges assess that one for you.
And I believe that criteria would encourage our farmers for the next year to ensure that from this competition going forward, they put in their best work from now so they know what their best animal in that category would be for the following year.
Yes.
Now, judging is spread across several dates in September. Could you walk us through how the competition will be organized this year?
Yeah, so it takes time to put something like this together.
Yeah.
As simple as it may sound. You have to make sure you procure lunches because in many cases, the judges that go out are on the field for the entire day. So you have to make sure you procure lunches, and therefore you have to plan the judging dates in advance. You have to ensure that there's a vehicle, a driver to be able to take the persons around. So outside of that, there's still water, beverages, gloves, garbage bags, sanitizer, a lot that needs to be checked off of a list. We also have the judging forms and so on. So in order to prepare for the judging period, we have to put a lot of things in place. And therefore, as far as possible, unless there's something really dramatic that happens out of our control, we have set dates over the next 3 weeks to assess the animals. Why are we doing it so early when the grand exhibition is October 15th and 16th? A couple of reasons. One is that we want to make sure that the animals are in good health, good quality animals overall from this stage, but things might happen. We might end up with a reason where there may be a tie, as we're compiling scores, where the animals have to be assessed again, for example. So we want to make sure we give ourselves leeway for that, as well as the farmers would need to be made aware so that they could prepare transportation or what have you to bring the animals to the World Food Day site. So we want to make sure we give our farmers enough notice so that they're prepared for bringing their animals, and we needed to gather the teams and so on and choose days that work. So it's over the next 3 weeks. But as farmers enter, we will communicate very openly with them. As I said, everybody has my phone number in the livestock farming community. You're free to WhatsApp me, call anytime, 383-4451, to inquire or follow up on the judging activities.
Now, I know this competition is specifically for World Food Day, and it's about encouraging food security and the livestock farmers and introducing them to other farmers who will be able to advance their produce as well. Do you guys see this advancing outside of Tobago, outside of Trinidad and Tobago, and expanding into the regional sphere?
Okay, so a livestock competition is not necessarily a novel concept per se. But I will say that our protocols were used for the Agri Expo 2024 in Trinidad. They were used for the assessment of the animals there. That's to say that there's some level of, it's a fairly robust mechanism for assessing the animals. So yes, we expect to see greater interest in livestock as a result of this, but also remember this is breed judging, which is more for breeders to produce purebred animals, where many producers who are looking to sell meat or dairy products, they're primarily looking for hybrid animals. So yes, they'll want purebred, but they really want the hybrid animals, the mixtures of the breeds. So yes, they'll want to identify the breeds, but for the hybrid animals, the producers, we're looking at other events. For example, the Grand Exhibition or the Lamb Fest, where they could sell products outside of the display of animals. But I also want to take this opportunity, because I am here representing World Food Day on the whole, to say that we also have a couple of events coming up in September, and to direct our viewers to the Division's Facebook page, Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. The Facebook page will be posting save the dates for the several calendar events that we have. So the save the date for the Lamb Fest has already gone out, but you'll see the call for vendors up there if you want any more information. That's the next week from September 2nd to 5th. You'll see the information about the livestock competition. Again, just WhatsApp me, but the information is already out there. So the Facebook page is where I would direct people. For example, in September, on September 12th, we have the Louis d'Or Open Day. So in that community, our demonstration station up on that end will be doing displays, giveaways, educational work as part of our World Food Day series of events to demonstrate, again, hand in hand. We're working hand in hand with producers, hand in hand with the community, hand in hand with livestock producers, hand in hand with farmers on the whole, to ensure that we have food security on the island.
And as you mentioned Lamb Fest, I remember seeing they're going to have lamb polori. That was very interesting. And I would like to see how that rolls out in the coming days and when Lamb Fest becomes the event that everyone is going to. No, I just want to thank you, Dr. Paul Crooks, for coming this morning and sharing with us the event for World Food Day 2025. I just want to encourage all our farmers to register in time so you have the opportunity to showcase your best and put forward what Tobago has to offer. Thank you so much again for coming on, Dr. Paul Crooks. And remember to share your number again for the audience so that they can register in time for.
So if you want to reach out to me for any questions regarding the livestock competition or any aspect of World Food Day 2025, please feel free to message me or call me at 383-4451.
We'll be right back with another story. Stay tuned.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979438.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
I beat it
goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Yeah. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Today we are here with Dr. Ellis Boris. He is the president of the Inter-Religious Organization in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are here to discuss the National Day of Prayer and Reflection that is carded for Independence Day this year. So on Sunday, the nation will take a different approach to the Independence Day celebrations due to the recent threat to national security. As a result of that, the government would have declared a state of emergency, and we are now looking at an interesting Independence Day celebration. So joining us, we have Dr. Ellis Boris, and we would hear his thoughts on this approach, right? So, Dr. Boris, tell me.
Well, it came as a surprise to me, but we have weathered that storm, and we have caught back our balance, and we have decided that we should at least do something for the nation, as we are the Inter-Religious Organization of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm president,
Right.
and therefore it's fitting that a religious organization, even when a mention of a day a day of prayer and reflection was on the table, we decided that we should be able to come forth, take up the mantle, and start something for the nation. So we have organized a program which is called One Nation United in Prayer.
Right.
So that program will be held at the Nagar site in Chaguanas, and we are hoping that all the members of the Inter-Religious Organization participate. Not hoping, but we know that they are participating because they have all mentioned what part of the program they will play. Each organization is allowed to say a prayer, a reading from their holy writings, and also maybe a drama, a song, as the case may be. And that's what we did. So we have approximately 18 groups taking part in the event, and we hope that it will be a success. We have tried our utmost to ensure that all and sundry are informed, and that they will at least come forth to represent whosoever was invited.
Okay, so 18 groups turning out, I think would be a good bit of involvement.
Yeah.
My question, why do you think the government decided to choose this particular approach, considering our current state of affairs with regards to crime in the country?
If I should be honest, and I'm honest, we have been calling for a day of prayer for this nation for quite a while, even before this new government has taken up its position. But we never got any significant response to that call. And this new government has decided to have a day without consultation. They did not discuss with us. That's the position of the government. They don't have to discuss with the IRO, but they have taken this position that they would need to make the Independence Day parade or step down and recognize it as a day of prayer for the nation. Prayer is very important for our lives. The point remains, prayer is a conversation with God. And individually, we as people should be having constant conversation with the divine, because we don't know what happens in the next 5 minutes. And therefore, having that prayerful attitude will enable persons to develop a more spiritual connectivity with God, and will really make us different people. Once we are connected to the divine, we know that good things can flow out of us. If we are on the contrary, then we know that any situation can happen. It's like a person on the contrary, a person walking into a dark room will bump into chairs or tables or beds, as the case may be, because the room is not illumined. When we are illumined with the light of the Holy Spirit, we are guided by the Holy Spirit, and therefore we will not bump into objects that will create problems for us. They may come in as tests, but when we, as persons who are connected to God, know that if there is a test, we just have patience and the test would be over.
Okay. Another question I have for you. Now, the government would have decided to have this particular day as a National Day of Prayer and Reflection, but do you think that this should be a one-day event, or this should be something that we have recurring moving forward?
Well, it's a start. You know, generally when you spike a situation, we cannot say what all the results are, because it is not a linear arrangement. It is an arrangement that is non-linear, and therefore we cannot really give a total assessment. But we know anyone who is imbued by the Holy Spirit can change their ways. We will believe that okay, I could change my ways like that, because you could try, but efforts tend to fail when it's not supported by the Holy Spirit.
That is correct. So you mentioned that your organization will be having a prayer service. Is there a specific time cut out?
Oh yes, the program is at the Nagar site, and it's from 10 a.m. and that's on the 31st of August, which is Sunday coming. It will be 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay, great. How do you think this day can include all faith traditions throughout Trinidad and Tobago?
Right. Well, we have called for, with the call for a day of prayer and reflection, we don't expect that small event that we have at the Nagar site would be all that will happen in the nation. We are calling on all religious organizations in every nook and cranny to at least dedicate a half an hour or hour of their service to the upliftment of the nation in prayer to God. So in that fact, we'll capture everyone in Trinidad and Tobago, giving to God some level of respect and love and honesty for the upliftment of the nation. What we are praying for is that the nation is uplifted, that crimes would be suppressed, and that prosperity comes to Trinidad and Tobago in a big way. So when prosperity comes to the nation, all peoples would be happy.
Okay, so we know how social media works. People always have something to say. And the general feedback is that most persons don't believe that prayer can solve the entire crime problem. But do you think it's a step in the right direction?
It's a step in the right direction. It wouldn't solve. You see, there's pragmatic operation that also have to take place on the material plane, which we can at least be a part of. But when we invite the divine in, the Holy Spirit in, we expect an amplification of what we do on the ground.
Okay, great. If you can speak directly to the nation's youth, because we know a lot of them actually are the target of a lot of the crime situations in Trinidad and Tobago. What message would you share with them?
I will share with them that it is important that when you get up in the morning, particularly in the morning, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pray 3 or 4 times a day, but particularly when God has given you life to wake up to a new day, you need to give God thanks and praise for that opportunity. And by so doing, you are feeding or nourishing your spiritual being. Man is made up of 2 beings, of 2 parts, the spiritual part and the physical part. We take food, material food, we eat every day. You wake up in the morning, your wife or your mom, mommy, I'm hungry, or wife, you prepare anything. That is part to feed the physical body. But that is an appeal as a hungry individual. From a spiritual perspective, we need to make that same appeal to God, that our spiritual selves, or spiritual, or the soul of that is connected with our body, that also can be nourished. If that is not nourished, then you are just an object walking on the plane.
That is correct. And tell me, beyond prayer, what practical steps do you think your organization, in collaboration with others, can implement to ensure that we have more involvement in this fight against crime?
Well, I would say we need to encourage, as you said, the young people, because people of a certain age do not think about those crimes. They have been so fixed in their ways to be good. And even a criminal, you say that he's good, he's happy. Because, he might just committed a crime, but you say, oh, that's a good man, or that's a good lady. They feel good inside. So the goodness of an individual is magnified when you worship God.
Right.
And if you don't, then you are just another person walking on the planet like an animal without, any spiritual development. And as simply put, every young person, be they go to church, be they don't go to church, I will advise that they take some part, take their personal interest to ensure that they are spiritually nourished. If you are malnourished spiritually, you will do any crime. You'll commit any crime. You'll do anything because your spiritual eyes are closed. You don't see what is happening around you. And therefore, you will do murder, you will do drugs, you will do anything that you feel to do. And you believe that you're right. But you are damaging your own selves. And if we damage ourselves, then we cannot help others. Because my self-damage, I'm unable to help another person. I will probably, if that person has a mind that is wicked, they will encourage other persons to be damaged.
That is very disheartening. And just to wrap this up, if you had one piece of advice to policymakers to address crime holistically, what would it be?
Well, I have to say in this respect, IRO does not have any arm of national security under its belt. We are an independent body. We are non-governmental. We are non-profit organization, right? But if we have to advise the state, we will advise them in such wise that, listen, there are some fundamental things that have to happen in communities. I would advise, and I always say, we need more social workers who are there to help and go into the country, into the villages and country to advise those young people, help to uplift them, to set their minds in a certain condition that they will be able to, uplift themselves. So we need more social programs or more social guidance, and we need to at least clamp down on things like the drugs, and people just feel alcohol is not a bad drug, but alcohol destroys the brain cells, and the brain cells are irreplaceable. Once you destroy those, it's very difficult for you to catch your balance.
It is true,
right? So therefore, we'll advise that, listen, manage those areas, because those areas areas that can be are tangible and you can see and get something done there. You also need to, bring people into a certain kind of level of discipline to ensure that they understand the pathway. If they don't understand the pathway, then they wouldn't follow the pathway.
It is true.
And it's so important that, people understand, discuss, and, have conversations that are uplifting to themselves. Because education, as a matter of fact, is not only religious education. You have academic education and you have community education where people do things and people watch them in the community and say, oh, that person is doing a great thing. I think I want to follow them.
Yeah,
It's not, right? So we need to have more of that in the communities, and at least mentor. There are some people that need to be taken on board and mentored. So government has to set up a proper mentoring program. You have to set up under the social operation, and you also need that parents are so important in the lives of children that it cannot be underestimated at all.
Yes,
the children are following the parents, and they will listen to their parents at most time. They might not listen to mommy, but they will listen to daddy, or they might listen to daddy, might listen to mom. So parents as a whole can play a significant role in the pathway of a child. And as parents, when the challenge and the trouble comes, the child runs to the parent. You have to go now look for lawyer. You got to go and look for this. You have to look for money to take them out of prison. Parents have a serious role to play with the development of this country and the children.
Great.
So we need to do that, and we need to take that on board seriously. Parents need to do something while the state do something in parallel. Parents, arise and do what you have to do. Make sure your children walk the correct path and that they pray every day, especially as a child, a young child. I remember as a child growing up, my mother used to say, have you said your prayers as you go for the kitchen for tea? If you don't, then you should have to go back and say your prayers.
It is true.
So parents have to develop these attitudes to enable the child to grow and to grow in a positive light, that he can able to be a light to the community and himself.
Okay.
Or herself.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Boris, for being with us today. As he would have reinforced, we need to ensure that prayer is very much a stronghold within the home. Parents, communities, all involved stakeholders, we need to come together to ensure that we could have a very strong fight against crime.
Yep.
Thanks again for coming, and it was lovely.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
Wait, you will have to unclip it.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
As essentially the main catalyst which drove Frenzy Mass. I mean, all of us would have do a lot of things together, and this was just the next step now, evolution. We lime, we party, so why don't we take all of that and bring it into Tobago, into a form of mass where we could go on Gallivant and do the same thing where other people could see what we do it on a bigger stage.
But at this point in time, I think Frenzy is important to me, so I decided to put some energies there. It's our first year Tobago Carnival, we now partner with Iconic Mass, and it's our first time, so I felt like, just see, come and really stamp your name and make that presence from the mass side of things. So that's the vibe, Frenzy Mass, really excited for Tobago this year.
Love to see the girl bend over. arch your back. Stop the arches. Slack me, girl, arch your back, arch your back.
Say 1, 2, tie up your shoe. 3, 4, bend back more. 5, 6, no time for tricks. Wine like you're feeling for sticks. So I want you bend like you forget to cream your leg. Hold on by your ankle them. Not just you, girl, you want your freak and you want your bread.
Right, me girl, and wine, in frenzy mass. Watching out there. That is what I was seeing. Rocking it slow. That is what I was seeing.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Who is the king of glory?
Tobago. Ready yourself for the most anticipated event for 2025. D-Line.
Lift up your head, oh you get, lift up your head, oh you get.
On Independence Day, featuring the electrifying fire general himself, Blessed Messenger.
You already provided.
The dynamic Pastor Terrence Mains.
They are the God. They are the works of men.
The captivating Rennie Fortune.
From my head to my feet.
The amazing Donald Job. And many sensational artists. It's the relaunch of D-Line, Sunday, August 31st at 5 p.m. downtown at the Scarborough Library Amphitheater. Admission is absolutely free. Don't miss this family extravaganza.
The blood of Jesus over your family.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Joining us today is Sheldon Bradshaw, known to many as Brashy B, the voice behind Inspirational Vibes on 89.5 FM. He's also the director of Divine Connection International, the group bringing us the relaunch of D-Lime 2025 this Independence Day at the Scarborough Amphitheater. Sheldon, welcome.
Good to be here. Good to be here. How have you been?
I've been good. How are you?
I am great. Wonderful.
Now, Sheldon, many know you as the host of Inspirational Vibes on 89.5 FM.
Yes.
But today we're talking about your role as director of Divine Connection International. Can you share with us what inspired the relaunch of D-Lime in 2025?
All right. So, the relaunch, well, first things first, let me say a pleasant good morning to all the viewers of Tobago Updates. All right. And D-Lime, first things first, let me say D-Lime stands for Daily Living Immensely with Mirrored Excellence. So it's not just any type of lime, but it's D-Lime. Meaning, in other words, whatever we do it with a spirit of excellence, reflecting the life of Jesus Christ. That being said, the last time we would have had this event called D-Lime would have been, I think was after COVID, which was COVID-19. So the program itself, D-Lime, was adversely affected due to COVID-19. As you would know, many businesses would have been affected. You know, the event is a free event. It has always been free, and it's still free to the public. All right. So that itself, I know a lot of people would have missed the event called D-Line. They've been asking the question, when are you going to come back with D-Lime? And honestly speaking, I was not thinking about it until one person approached me and told me, they said, listen, I will provide you with the sound system at no cost. Another person approached me and said they will provide this, they will provide that. And I say, you know what? This is a divine connection.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, it's a divine connection. And I knew God wanted this event to come on board, you know, not in my own effort, but in His, because everything is about God's timing, you know. And I know D-Lime has impacted so many people, so many lives have been impacted. You know, the main attraction to this event is the music. And as you would know, the music itself is a universal language. It draws people from different walks of life, you know. And I know many people have been saved, many people have been delivered, many people have been, you know, transformed as a result of this event called D-Lime. So D-Lime is back, and we do know that the day has been declared, Independence Day that is, has been declared as a day of prayer and reflection. And what a timing, I must say, to have this event. Even before this announcement that was made from the central government, you know, we were already in the planning stages. And when this came about, when this came about, I said, this is God. I'm just seeing confirmation after confirmation to have this event called D-Lime.
Now, the lineup features artists like Blessed Messenger, Terrence Baines. I have been to one of Terrence Baines' events at the Food Hub, so I know for a fact he's going to have an electrifying performance. We have Donald Job and Renee Fortune. How were these artists chosen, and what do they bring to the event?
Well, as you started off by saying Terrence Baines, and I know that's one of your favorite artists. Yes, you know, Terrence Baines has always been part of D-Line. All right, and what he brings to the table is unique. He's very, as you use the word, electrifying. You know, he's a man that moves on the stage. You know, he brings
that audience.
That's right. And the music that he brings, it's more like sing along songs, worship songs that you're familiar with. You know, so. You know, whenever he hits the stage, there's no two ways about that. The crowd would sing along with Pastor Terrence Baines. So he will be bringing, you know, praise, worship in music, you know, and that's the whole idea. We have branded the event as a time of prayer, praise, and worship. All right. So Pastor Terrence Baines, he has been chosen, being led by the Spirit of God, and personally knowing what he would normally bring to the table when it comes to music. All right. And then, of course, we have Renee Fortune. She's from Trinidad. You know, she did the song called A Little More Oil in the Lamp, Keep It Burning. That's a medley of songs. That's really, it's Caribbean. It has that Caribbean flavor, you know. So no two ways about that. People are going to be singing along with that kind of a music, you know. Donald Job, no stranger to the people of Tobago. I think some years ago he would have won something connected to Digital Rising Star. So he, you know, he's an excellent vocalist, I must say, and he brings worship. You know, he ushers you, if I should use these words, he ushers you into the very presence of God with worship music. All right. We also have our very own Blessed Messenger, originally from Tobago. Yes, in fact, both Pastor Terrence Baines and Blessed Messenger, they came from Bethel. You understand? So they, you know, what I love about Blessed Messenger is that he will bring across his storyline in a powerful way through his music. You know, and so many people I realize love Blessed Messenger. You know, he has been around for years. He was once part of a group called Blessed Messengers, but now he's called Blessed Messenger. You know, so you know, he brings his message in different genres of music, be it reggae, soca, but it's all gospel. You know, and gospel as way of information means good news. Yeah, so we also have a lineup of other artists, you know, like Mita Academy. We have Gabby Williams. We have a number of artists that will be part of this event. So yes, we would have highlighted you know, some of the artists on the commercial, but there are so many more that will be on the program. A dance group, Song of Silence, and so much more. Too numerous to mention, but it promises to be fantastic. Yeah.
Very pleased to hear that. And on this year's Independence theme of prayer and reflection, we are reflecting in light of the current state of emergency that Trinidad and Tobago is under, the crime situation, and a lot of these things that are occurring. And we know you have speakers addressing issues like youth violence, peer pressure, and teenage pregnancy. Why was it so important for you to highlight these? I know it was in theme with what is going on currently in the country, but why is it so important that you still need to highlight it when it's something that is already talked about so much in society?
Yes. Now, over the years, I would have incorporated speakers to this event. Now, when we first started off with this program called D-Lime, it was never about having speakers to come and speak to pertinent issues. It was more like music from the different artists alongside the DJs. We used to have a DJ session where the DJ just play the music, and there will be like that, you know, that kind of vibes while viewing the fireworks. Because what we normally would do, we will have the first half of the program, then the second half, and you know, within that break, let me say during the fireworks, the music would be played and stuff like that. And you know, it dawned on me. I said, you know, being the president and the director of this, I know the word of God is powerful, and based on what we are seeing happening in our nation, where our youths are concerned, where we're seeing so many things are happening, those who are involved in drugs, those who are involved in crime and stuff like that, I said, you know what? I also need to put in the mix in the program to have different speakers who are qualified to address issues. So we're not going to, as I said before, the program is mainly music. But within the program, we will have like speakers just addressing these issues. We will spread them out throughout the program for like about we'll give them like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes thereabout to address these issues. And you know, it also reminded me of some years ago when I brought Lieutenant Stitchy to this event, and I brought DJ Nicholas. They would have played a significant role in the lives of our young people. Stitchy, no stranger to the secular arena, and I've seen how many youths, one young man heard Stitchy's voice and came to the venue, and he attended that entire session where Stitchy was singing, you know, and he gave his life to Jesus Christ. You know, same thing applies to DJ Nicholas from Jamaica. You know, I remember after the Lime some years ago, Nicholas reached out to me via phone and told me one lady reached out to him saying, you know, thank you so much. My life has been changed. You know, once upon a time I stopped just going to church, and just hearing your ministry through the music, I have decided to rededicate my life. You know, so music, yes, it's powerful. The word of God is also powerful. So it's really a strategy, right, for the youths to come to that venue, enjoy the music, enjoy the vibes, and at the same time be ministered onto by the various speakers that will be addressing these different issues: teenage pregnancy, violence, drugs, etc., etc.
And I'm happy that you mentioned speaking to our youth, because they are the ones that we need to nurture, so
That's
that
right.
going forward, our generations after that, they're able to curb some of these issues that we are facing in society. And it's
Yes.
important that we start with them. Now, Mr. Bradshaw, thank you so much for coming
Yes.
this morning
Yes.
and sharing
Yes.
about
Yes.
the D-Lime event. Can you
Yes.
just remind our audience when it is and what time and where
All
they
right.
need
Sure.
to gather?
Sure. So, dear viewers, the place to be is the amphitheater, the Library Scarborough Amphitheater. That's this Sunday, 31st August, Independence Day, right? So we lime in, right? You don't want to miss it, all right? The admission is free. So come out in your thousands, come out, bring your mother, bring your father, bring your enemy, just bring them to that venue. It promises to be great. We start at 5 p.m. We're going to start off with some music. Then we're going to take you into prayer, praying for our nation, praying for our leaders. Then we go into music, and it's going to be wall-to-wall music from 5 p.m. until the following day is a holiday, right? So you have no excuse. Just come and enjoy the vibes. Great ministry from various artists, top gospel artists, and music, wall-to-wall music by the DJs, and so much more. So don't forget the date, Sunday, 31st August, Independence Day, D-Lime. It promises to be great. The place is the amphitheater next to the library. Yes.
Thank you so much, and we'll be right back after the break.
Yes.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor.
The event of this century is here.
AMPLIA.
100 years of excellence to honor the past and ignite the future. Saturday, September 30th at the Magdalena. The Centennial Gala, hosted by Bishop's High School, Tobago. An all-inclusive evening of entertainment, culinary delights, and timeless vibes. And at midnight, raise your glass as we welcome the next 100 years. Limited early bird tickets, $750. Secure yours at islandetickets.com. An all-white affair. One night, one century, one legacy.
Tobago Updates Television recognizes women in business. Every Thursday morning on The Morning Show, we engage with women-owned and operated businesses from right here in Tobago. We'll discover these women, their businesses, what inspired their business, their highs and their lows, and their encouragement to you. Join me, your host, Adana Kambi, this and every Thursday on The Morning Show from 7:40 a.m. as we celebrate and encourage women in business.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Take your shot with Junior K.
Always with the introductions, as you see. And of course, we're on television. Big up to my boy Saki. We just complete.
I saw that. So we didn't have a choice. We had to call it.
Good.
So, Carnival.
I say, warn them. Hey, I get to know.
Baba boy Doran. Me God, we are the last man.
Alright, you got a drink, bro? Drinking liars.
Enjoy. Take your shot on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share.
Good morning, Tobago. a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
Welcome back, and we had such a fulfilling segment this morning.
I definitely agree.
We were talking about all things independence. I know we were worried about what the Independence Day celebrations would be like, but the Office of the Chief Secretary posted what the day of events would be like.
Correct.
And we had Sheldon Bradshaw here talking about the D-Lime events, what they will be having at the amphitheater. And I know before we came back, Kemba, you had some things to say about the amphitheater.
I was mentioning that I'm really glad that they're making use of the amphitheater and the Botanic Gardens, because I believe that they have a movie night as part of the Independence Day activities.
Yes.
I think it's very important that we make use of all of these communal spaces that we have throughout Tobago, because any opportunity that we could have for people to gather and just be in unity and enjoy being together is very important. Because just as Dr. Burris would have mentioned, I think that social aspect is draining away from our community, from our
rise
society.
of technology.
Correct.
Everyone
Everybody's
is on the
becoming
phone.
isolated. So I think what they have set out for the Independence Day celebrations would allow a lot of persons the opportunity to just, be out together and enjoy. We have gospel, we have sports, we have movies. Everybody love a movie under the stars.
Yes.
So, and I think that it would just be a great time to see persons out again, away from the fete culture, which typically would arise with the Independence Day celebrations,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know that you mentioned the unity and coming together using the community spaces that we already have.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we like to talk about the Independence Day celebration being cancelled. It's unpatriotic, but this is an opportunity for us to be patriotic to one another.
Correct.
Patriotism starts with you
as an
looking out
individual.
for your fellow citizen. It starts with you being your brother's keeper. It
Correct.
starts with you conversing with them. How is your day going? How is
Indeed.
life? And that is where patriotism actually starts. And this opportunity, I know it's not our usual way of celebrating, but it gives us that opportunity to really come together as a community.
I think that word you use is actually the problem, this usual. It doesn't have to be a usual, it doesn't have to be a normal. Patriotism can be represented in any way that we choose. Patriotism has to do with dedication to country, dedication to our nation. Why does that have to look the same way every year? It doesn't have to.
And it would be different based on each individual person, based on your
Correct.
morals and your values and the way that you were raised.
Indeed, and it allows us the opportunity to start new traditions within Tobago, within Trinidad and Tobago, and who knows, maybe we could create a new trend for the outside world.
Outside of fete culture.
Indeed.
Thank you to our viewers this morning for joining us at Good Morning Tobago. We hope you have a great day and safe and prosperous day.
Definitely.
And we look forward to all of you showing up for Independence Day celebrations at the end of this week. We have D-Lime, we have Movies Under the Stars. We wish you all the best from me and Kamba. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Hey.